So welcome everyone to the second part of our Arduino session. So in the last session I had given you some work in which you had to work on three LEDs, a chaser LED like circuit you have to create. So I expect that you might have created. No problem at all if you were not able to do that. No problem at all. I would like to show you how to do that. Just give me a minute. I will just change my screen to Tinkercad. So yeah, now you can see. So here I will click on start simulation and I will show how I had made it and how it looks like. This red, then green, then blue. You can see that first red color is glowing, then green color, and then blue color. Okay, so what I did is, first of all, I just took three LEDs, and those LEDs were in the digital pin of 765. Okay, so first of all I made 7 comma high. 7 is this LED. So when 7 is high, at that time 6 and 5 should be low, and it should work for only 1 second. And after that the sixth pin should be high and 7 and 5 should be low. You can see here 7 and 5 is low. So this is 7 and 5 is low when 6 is high. Matlab when green color LED is high, at that time 7 is low and 5 is also low. For 1 second it will work, and again it will go like if 5 is high, matlab this blue color LED is high, at that time 7 and 6 red and green LED should be off. Okay, so this is how we can make. So now let us go on to the fading part. I told you that I will be telling you about fading also. So I'm just clicking on stop simulation and changing it to the and I'm just removing these LEDs. I'm removing this LED also. So finally deleted all the LEDs. Now let me take another LED. And now what we are going to do is we are going to make this LED to fade, or we are going to control the brightness of this LED. And to control the brightness of LED, we will be using a special pin, a magical pin, which is known as PWM pin. So as I have told you that PWM pins are the special pins which works as analog output. These are actually basically digital pins, but it act as analog output. And this PWM pins we can see here, and in Arduino is that 3 is a PWM pin, 5 is a PWM pin, 6 is a PWM pin, 9, 10, 11 are the PWM pins. So what we will be doing is that we will be connecting this LED with any of the PWM pins so that we can control the brightness of this LED. Now, as you know, the cathode has to be always connected with the ground of the Arduino, and anode part, which is the positive of the LED, needs to be connected with any of the PWM pins. Suppose you connect it with the 3 or 5 or 6 or 9, 10, 11, anyone you can connect. I'm going to connect it with the 6th LED. Okay, fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to code here that my LED brightness, how I'm going to control the brightness. Okay, so just clicking on the coding part, and you can see here that void setup and void loop are the inbuilt functions. And in this inbuilt function, first of all, I'm going to initialize the pin, sixth pin. So pin mode, pin mode, M should be in capital. Oh, I made a spelling mistake. It's pin mode. And then in bracket I will be typing which pin I have taken. Sixth pin I have taken, and I have to specify that what this pin is acting as, like it's an output or an input. So I'm pretty much sure that you all people know that this LED wants to glow, so that's why this pin will be acting as output. So this pin will act as output over here, and now I'm just going to click on semicolon. Okay, fine. So I have declared that pin mode 6 comma output. Now when I've used this PWM pin, so it should be clear in your mind that do not use digital write. You are not using digitally, you are not making this pin to work digitally. So they are digital pin, but PWM pins are special pin which act as analog pins. So so what you have to do is analog write. In the previous one, while blinking, we did digital write, but this one will be analog write. So analog write 6 comma, it's now at the 6 comma, we are not going to write high or low. At this moment, what we are going to write is giving a number value in between 0 to 255. So suppose I'm just going to give a value of 10. So now you can see that I have given the value of 10, and I'm just going to click on start simulation. So now you can see my LED will be glowing with very low brightness. Okay, now you can see my LED is glowing but with very low brightness. So now again let me take another LED. I'm going to take another LED and I'm going to connect this LED with another PWM pin. I want to show you a difference. So what will be the difference between if I take 10 or if I take 255, what is the difference? I want to show you. So again this ground I'm just going to connect it with this one, and anode I'm going to connect it to the ninth pin. Okay, so I have taken two LEDs with same this one, what you say, same color, and now I'm just going to click on code, and as I have taken this LED ninth one, I have taken this pin, ninth pin, so I have to give pin mode initialization to this one also. So this is pin mode, it's 9 comma output must be in capital, then bracket close and semicolon. You all know that semicolon we use because semicolon tells the Arduino that the line has ended over here. Okay, so now again I have to give analog write, it should not be in capital, analog write 9 comma 255. I'm just going to compare this thing. So the sixth pin, the LED which is connected to the sixth pin is the value I've given is 10, and the LED pin which is connected to 255 ninth pin is connected is given as 255. Now let me click on start simulation and let's see that what is it, what will be the difference. So now you can see this LED, the pin which is connected, the LED which is connected to the ninth pin is glowing brighter than the LED which is connected to the sixth pin. So this is the basic difference so now you could have understood that you might have understood that you can control the brightness of this LED. So now let us stop this simulation and now work on controlling the brightness of this LED automatically. Like right now we were clicking on this thing, but now let us assume that this LED in real should work like this. I've shown in the middle that like this it should work. Okay, so now you can see that LED is glowing automatically. So how to make this LED to glow in such a way? Okay, what you have to do is I've just deleted one LED and I will be taking just only one LED. I connected with the sixth one. I'm deleting this one. Okay, so and this one also I'm deleting. Okay, so if you want to make your LED to bright from 0 to maximum slowly, so how to make it? We will be using a for loop for that. For loop is a loop which is used for taking the value from 0 to the any value, like from 0 to any value which you want to take. Okay, so right now I want to make my LED to glow from 0 to 255, or with a small delay I want my LED to glow from 0 to 255. So how to do that? I will be using for loop. If I if I doesn't want to use this for loop, I should have to do a lot of coding, like analog write I have analog write 6 comma 0, then a delay here, a delay and delay of 10 milliseconds, and analog write 6 comma 1 semicolon delay comma 10, again analog write 6 comma 2. So you can see like this I have to write, like this I have to go, like this I have to go till analog write 6 comma 255. Like it would have been a very long coding for me, so I have to type from 0 to 255 like this. So it is not so good way of writing a code. So we have to act a little bit cleverly. So what we'll be using is we'll be deleting all these things and we'll be using a for loop. Okay, so now let me explain you what is a for loop and how to write this for loop. So let me change my screen. So you can see that for writing, for making the LED to bright or fade, we will be using for loop. The syntax is somewhat looks like this: for loop, and in bracket it will be like initialize, then a semicolon, then condition, and then semicolon, increment or decrement, and then in between curly brackets we will be writing what we want to do. Okay, so how it works like, so as I told you, the syntax of the for loop is for, in bracket we have to write initialize and condition and then increment or decrement. So what are these things? Initialize, condition, increment, decrement. Initialization is taking a value, initial value for the variable which you take. Like suppose you have taken a variable I, and you have to take the initial value like 0, you are taking an initial value. So like from 0 it should start, and till from what value it should go, that is condition. Like condition, my condition should be the value of the variable should be less than 256. Okay, that is my condition. At that time, if the condition is true, then it will go to the code which I have written inside the for loop and will work. Otherwise it will go outside the for loop, and if it is false, it will, the code written inside the for loop will not work. Okay, so increment and decrement is increasing the variable value, is increment, or decrement is the decreasing the variable value. So suppose I am initializing for, I have taken, suppose first of all think that I have taken a variable I. So initialization I equals to 0, condition I is less than 256. Suppose my condition is I is less than 256, and increment is I plus plus. I want increment I plus plus. Increment, for the increment I will be writing it I plus plus. Okay, so now the coding will be looking like somewhat like this: I equals to 0, I is less than 256, I plus plus. Now going into the deeper in this coding and how it will work. Suppose I have taken for I equals 0, I is less than 256, and I plus plus, because I is my initialization, I is less than 256 is my condition. 256, why I am taking 256 is that my LED will glow maximum at 255, and I want my LED to be less than 256. Less than 256 is 255. With 255 value, my LED will be glowing with the maximum brightness. Then again it will be coming to 0 only. In 255 my LED will be in high brightness. Okay, so my LED should be, my brightness should be less than 256. And so how it will work: suppose I have initialized I equals to 0, then it will be like I is less than 0. If the value of I is less than 0, first of all it will check the condition whether 0 is less than 256. Yes, 0 is less than 256. Then now it will execute the code, and then it will increment also. I plus plus, I plus plus. What is the I plus plus? I plus plus is I plus 1 increment value. So I plus plus means I plus 1. So I was 0, now it will become 1. So I की value अब 1 हो जाएगी. Now when the I value is 1, now again it will check the condition that whether it is 256. Yes, it's true. Less than 1 is less than 256, and now it will increment its value, making it 2, and then execute the code as well. Now the value of I is 2. Now it will check the condition that whether 2 is less than 256. Yes, it is true. The 2 plus 1, I plus plus means I plus 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So now the value of 3 I is 3, and it will execute that code inside the for loop. It will go like this: I equals to 3, I is less than 256, means 3 is less than 256. Yes, it's true. So I plus plus, I plus 1, so I value is 4. Now it will also work. Okay, the code will be working the same way. It will go, and it will be reaching at 255, and I is less equals to 255. If the condition is I is less than 256, like 255 is less than 256, yes, the condition is true. Then it will go like I plus 1. So now the value of I is 256. But once the value of 256 I reach 256, what will happen is that the condition is now false. 256 is not less than 256. 256 is equal to 256, but the condition was whether the value of I is less than 256. Now it's false, so it will come out of the loop. So now let us come again back to the our Tinkercad, and let me show you how to write this code over there. So I will be writing here my code. So you can see in for loop I will be initializing int I. So I have taken my variable as I, and you can take any variable. It's not necessary that I have to take I only. You can take any word also. Like suppose I am taking a word like LED, int LED. Okay, int LED, and equals to 0. LED should be equals to 0, and LED should be less than 256. My condition is that my LED should be less than 256, and LED plus plus. Okay, that is my increment which I'm giving. So bracket close, and now here my curly bracket open and curly bracket close, and in between this curly bracket I'm going to write my code for the for loop. So what is my condition is that analog write. So it should be like analog write and analog write. This which pin? Sixth pin comma LED is the variable. Okay? So LED sixth pin comma LED semicolon. So if you don't want to take this LED, you can take it as any variable, single variable also A. So at that time you have to change here also A. Like if int A equals to 0 is less than 256 and A plus plus A plus plus, and here also you have to change it to A. So I just wanted to tell you that there is no any hard and fast rule that you have to take this variable or that variable. Variable name can be anything. So after that, what you have to do, you have to give a delay of around as less as possible, as less as much possible you can take. So I am taking it at 10 delay of 10. So delay of 10 will be okay for me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just my brightening part is over. So I will be just clicking on start simulation and whether see let me see that whether this work or not. I'm just going to click on start simulation and yeah, let's see. Yes, it's working. Now it's working. You can see my LED is making a brightness effect, and in real it will something looks like this. Okay, you can see here I have just shown that how it will be looking like in real Arduino. It will be looking something like this. Okay, so and so this is how the LED will brighten up. Okay, slowly. So now suppose now you can see that the LED is brightening from 0 to 256. Suppose you want to fade the LED. Right now the LED is brightening up and you want to fade the LED like from 256. From maximum it should be go like 0. From maximum it should go like 0. So how you will be doing that? Okay, I would recommend you that pause this video and try to do with yourself only in Tinkercad. Try to do it yourself. If you're not able to do, I'm going to do that for you guys. Okay, so it's very simple. What you have to do is that you have to just interchange this value from I should not be equal to 0. Now I should be 256 and I should be greater than 0. I should be greater than 0. Here the condition should be that I should be greater than 0, and here the increment, it should not be increment, it should be decrement. Okay, it should be decrement. Right now the value should be 256, and if the value is 256, then it should check whether the value is greater than 0. Yes, it's greater than 0. Now it should minus itself, like 256 से 255 आ जाएगा. Then from 255 it will come from 254, 253, 252, 251, 250, 249, and then it will come to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 0. It will be coming like this. So now let me see that how it will work. So you can see now my LED is fading. My LED is making itself off. Okay, from brighten from maximum it is going to minimum value. It is fading right now. So we have worked on this brightening as well, and we have worked on fading as well. So this was the stuff, and now what we are going to do is we are going to take two of the things together. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to make it like two of the things together, how the brightening and the fading will together works. Okay, so I'm just clicking on stop simulation, and I'm just writing it again. I equals to 0 and 2 I is greater than less than, I should be less than 256, and here I'm not taking I say a plus plus, and after for loop, and here again give a for loop, and after that it should come like for int a equals to 256 yeah take different variable int b equals to 256, b is less than greater than 0, should be greater than 0, b minus minus, and then analog write 6 comma b, so delay of 10. Okay, fine. So now let me see whether it works or not. Click on start simulation. So oh yeah, I had done a mistake that I didn't embed the for loop. So now I put the semicolon this curly bracket for loop also. Close the for loop. Now let me see whether it works or not. Yes, it's working. So you can see my LED is glowing from zero. It is glowing. Brightness is increasing slowly, and then slowly brightness is decreasing also. Okay. So now the brightness and the fading is going simultaneously. So you can try making this stuff in your house also. So this was the thing, and I hope, yeah, you liked about the controlling the brightness of the LED. And in the same way, you can control the speed of the motors also. If suppose you are having motors, then what you can do is that you can control the you can connect the motors in these PWM pins, and then you can control the speed of the motors. So yes, we use motor drivers, but the motor drivers pins can be connected to this PWM pin, so that we can control the speed via the motor drivers. Okay, fine. So I hope that you have liked this session's second part. Okay, fine, thank you.